Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Geek and I. My name is John, and we are joined again this week on Federation Friday, TGIFF. Marty, welcome.
Thank you, John. Good to be here.
How did you survive today?
Earthquake day in the Northeast. Yeah.
Yes. 4.8.
Yeah, it was about 10 to 15 seconds of pure, huh? It was odd. Definitely all of a sudden felt vibration in my legs and then suddenly my desk. And I thought maybe I was having a stroke. And then I heard somebody go, anybody else feel that? And I was like, okay, I'm okay. And ran into our lobby area because we have these giant hanging light fixtures and they were just gently moving like this. And I'm like, I think we had an earthquake. And then it took a good 20 minutes for that to get confirmed. And we had a little aftershock about 6 o'clock here. I didn't feel it, but my entire family felt it. So interesting to say the least. We don't really have earthquakes in this region, even though we have fault lines. Last time we had something like that was when DC had that earthquake a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there was one the year that we moved to Texas in 11. We had gotten out, or maybe it was 12, that there was an earthquake. And I'm like, oh, we just got out in time. But how long did it take for the emergency alert system to come over your phone to tell you that an earthquake?
Well, I really would like to send my thanks out to the local and state government here that got us that emergency notification within 2.5 hours of the earthquake ending, letting everybody know that it was an earthquake. So, yeah, that was very, very helpful.
So not just somebody dropping a heavy pot upstairs, a cast iron skillet on the kitchen floor.
No, it was a good rattle. And where my office is, there's a second floor above us, and we're used to hearing large things being pushed back and forth all day. So at first we didn't think anything of it, and then we were like, and the staircase is on the adjoining wall with us, so we just thought something was coming down the staircase, and then realized, no, this is too strong to be something falling down the stairs. So, yeah.
Yeah, people that I know say they felt it, but like you said, they were like, what was that?
Yeah, barely noticeable. Friend of mine, two friends of mine, their mom passed away. They were in the middle of her funeral mass when the earthquake struck, and they said that the stained windows in the church were rattling. So interesting to say the least. But we survived. Yeah. We made it through. Irwin Allen will not be doing a version of what we went through for his next film. Although I did get the poster for Earthquake up on my Facebook page pretty quickly.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, typical New Yorkers, we took it with a shrug and went on with the rest of our day.
Yeah, because I was streaming some news broadcasts here, and they were like, did you feel the earthquake? Oh, yeah. What did you do immediately after you felt the earthquake? Oh, I went and bought a cup of coffee and headed on into work. Like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? You know, this is a tough group up here. You know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so much different these days because, I got 2 or 3 calls from the school district to tell us that it was a alleged earthquake. So I guess they didn't want to be in trouble for libel or slander if it wasn't an actual earthquake.
Right. You'd hate to have an earthquake take you to court.
Yeah, that's true. Then when it was confirmed, they called back to say it was confirmed, but their engineering teams assessed the building and everything was safe. Now, I'm not going out on a limb here when I say I doubt they had structural engineering teams standing by in the school, and it was probably more the sanitational engineering teams checking the schools out. but they were very good to let us know that school would continue uninterrupted in session.
Yes, the lunch lady says we're fine.
I will tell you, I was really half expecting them to do an early dismissal.
Well, that's Monday, right? You guys. Well, you're not in the path of the eclipse. It's more Western New York.
Western New York. We're supposed to get 88% or 89% coverage. So we will have a pretty good effect. I know they changed the time of the Yankee game. Yankees had an afternoon game, and they were, out of an abundance of caution, I guess they don't want anybody hurting their eyes, they now moved the game to the evening.
I mean, Met fans have been hurting their eyes for the past 2 weeks, so...
I think the funniest thing I saw was somebody put up that they were seriously considering staring right into the eclipse so they wouldn't have to watch the Mets play anymore. Which,
yeah, it's we've had what, three of the 6 signs of the end of the world. So we've had the earthquake, we've had lightning strike the Statue of Liberty, and we had the Mets win a game. So that's 3 of the 6. We're just waiting on the other 3 before Monday. And we'll see how that happens. But today is Friday. It is Federation Friday, Star Trek First Contact Day.
Happy First Contact Day to those who celebrate.
Yes. Yes, celebrate by not watching Star Trek Discovery. I've had a wonderful day today, not watching that.
And I think you dodged 2 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, I think they dropped 2 today.
I think I'd rather sit through an earthquake.
It's a First Contact Day miracle. So yeah, I plan to be there. I don't know about you. 2068, right? So I'll be 97. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty far away. I don't even know if I'll be making it till next weekend. So,
well, when I was 20 or 30, I would have said definitely. Now that I'm going to be 53, and you notice as you get older, you have to think about exactly how old you are.
I have to do the math in my head.
3,
and I usually come up short.
And guys, this is not the show to do math on.
No,
we've proven that in every episode so far.
We've covered that, and we're not very good at it. So
yeah. So yeah.
Let's talk about First Contact.
Yes.
Let's do this first. Hold on a second. So First Contact, where did you see it, and what is your memory of First Contact?
I saw First Contact. I remember it was December, and we had someplace to go after it. We were going to a friend's housewarming party, and I believe I saw it in the movies in Douglaston, where my wife lived.
I ran the UA.
The UA movie closet.
I ran that theater.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The one under the above ground parking thing.
Under the Toys R Us, yeah.
Yeah. This was a subterranean theater. Words do not do it justice. It's not there anymore. No. The last day, they just gave away everything in the place. I wish I had known. My nephew came out with a couple of monitors and a light box for posters. Yeah. He made out really well that day. I believe that's where we saw it, and it was just me and my wife, and thoroughly enjoyed that movie. To this day, I still, if it comes on, it's one of those ones I'll stop and I'll sit and watch.
Now, when was it? Was that 96?
No, because Generations was not. Well, let's find out. Hold on.
I'm way ahead of you.
I'm useless without my Alexa here.
1996.
It was 96. Okay.
Yep.
So I guess, yeah, that would make sense. 96. I think it still holds up after all these years. Especially to me, the first 20 minutes of that film are pure gold.
Goldsmith.
That's true. I just love the beginning, the zoom out of the eyeball and the interior of the Borg ship, to Picard's waking dream, and then the defense of Earth. Nice to see the Defiant show up on the big screen. Her only appearance on the big screen so far. And we tie it back to Zefram Cochrane, who will show up in later episodes of our rewatch.
Oh, he was a thing in TOS?
He was definitely a thing in TOS.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to that, because I thought that was, I mean, there was probably words, a history for him written down, but I didn't realize he was actually in the original series.
He is, albeit a slightly different version of him, not the Zefram Cochrane we saw on screen, but yeah, definitely Zefram Cochrane was still out there, still alive. Spoiler alert, it involves aliens, and yeah, they come across him. So it was nice that they kind of tied it back into First Contact, because very little was said except he was the inventor of the warp drive, not that he established First Contact with any race. So meeting the Vulcans at the end and setting up that first meeting that day we happened to discover warp drive was, I thought, a nice way of tying it all together.
Did you, while watching First Contact, did you say, gosh, this kind of ruins the continuity, or did they actually hit the same beats, or is there anything in there that you thought was that couldn't and that shouldn't have happened?
Well, making Cochrane a fall down drunk was an interesting choice, because he's so revered in the future. And I think the one that we see in the original series is more in that mold, and definitely a different man than James Cromwell portrayed him as. But we even see that development later in Enterprise, when Cochrane made a few appearances. I think it was one or two appearances. You got that more elder statesman type of thing going on. So I thought it was a nice nod to the original series. They essentially took the name and that he invented warp flight, and that's really what they ran with. Everything else was pretty much a blank canvas.
Right, because you're going through back in time and changing everything.
Yeah, and they didn't really go much into Cochrane except for those two big facts when he does appear in the original series. So it wasn't like they gave him a really long, convoluted backstory that had to be kind of retrofit to the First Contact story. They were kind of free to run with it.
Yeah, so
they didn't mention the statue.
It's pretty neat that that they actually gave it a day, and we are now only 9 short months away from Star Trek Insurrection Day. So we all have that to look forward to in January. So
yeah, I don't look forward to that one as much, but
so as far as tonight's episode, the Corbomite maneuver.
Yes.
Quick thoughts on the episode when you first saw it, and the I guess, 9 or 10 more times that you've seen it.
It's a personal favorite. I think it's got all the elements of what makes Star Trek Star Trek. You've got the unknown. You've got the human emotional element. You've got Kirk being Kirk and once again beating the odds, really bluffing his way out of a situation. You really see that nice Kirk-Spock dynamic, and you even get a little bit of that nice Kirk-McCoy dynamic during the show. And you get kind of a surprise at the end, about judging books by their cover.
Right.
And I thought it was a very effective episode. I love the effects, even in the non-remastered version. The glowing Rubik's Cube buoy, and of course the Fesarius. Hey, Deb.
What is going on? Because when I looked earlier, it said this started at 8:54.
Yeah, well, that's time difference. We went through a wormhole. It's 7 o'clock. Where are your tribbles? Check your tribbles or something like that.
7 o'clock, yes.
Well, no, it usually tells me in my time what time it starts.
Yeah, I think I screwed that up.
Oh.
I boomered it, all right?
Why don't, can you just put it in Greenwich Mean Time for all of us, and then we'll have to figure it out ourselves?
I boomered the time, so, and it wouldn't let me change it.
But
I thought it was weird.
That's okay. We were getting a little worried.
Yeah, you're only 7 days late for last week's episode, so it doesn't really.
Yeah.
We have to do last week's episode with you and this week, so you've got double duty.
Oh, I didn't watch last week's though. I just watched this week's.
And we know you didn't like it because it has kids in it.
This is true.
So we were just going over the initial thoughts.
So, yep. And I was just going to sum up saying, I think it's a good episode. I think it's a solid episode. There are certain things that feel a little out of place. Spock is back to yelling, and then 10 seconds later chastises somebody for yelling.
I was gonna pull that clip.
There's no reason to raise your voice. Oh.
You just did it 5 minutes ago.
You just screamed from the science station.
Watching it, I was thinking, oh, angry Spock is back.
That is because this was filmed earlier, but because of all the effects, they kept pushing it back air date to work on the effects. So I think up to this point is probably their most effect heavy episode that they did. Really love the zooming in on the Fesarius when I was waiting for somebody to say that's no moon. And just I love the blinky Christmas light design on the orbs around it. All in all, good episode.
Yeah, the cube actually, I kind of like the cube on the original better, but I couldn't find an image of the bubble ship of what it looked like in the original.
It's very close.
Is it close?
It's very close. I think the real difference in the remastering is when you get up close, you get a better idea that those round bubbles have kind of a geometric dome design around them. But it was very, very close.
And Deb, what did you think?
I remember watching this episode when I was much younger, and Balak always came off creepy, Clint Howard. It was just very creepy, and of course now watching it today, I don't think that was his real voice, right? He was lip syncing or somebody was dubbing over him.
Yeah, that was completely dubbed over. That was a choice to make it seem more alien.
I thought it was really good because I was watching his mouth and the words, and I mean, he was kind of over enunciating, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was very good, and I do like the episode. I thought, even though Screaming Spock was back in some parts, I thought the relationship between Spock and Kirk and McCoy is getting very close to what I truly love about the trio and their relationship, because there was a little joking going around, little puns here and there. But I liked the episode overall.
Yeah, this was another good one. I don't think I've come across one that I haven't really thought was any good. You know, that hasn't been really good. So this one starts off with the Enterprise flying around, and they did mention that it's day 3. So I guess that goes back to this being in the actual 3rd episode, but 9 or 10.
Well, he said they were 3 days in their mapping mission. So I don't know if they were 3 days in that sector. But I'll tell you, one of the things I liked about this episode, I don't know if anybody else caught it, there's quite a few interesting camera angles that were used that we never see used again, including a real nice beauty shot of coming out of the turbo lift and seeing all those stations to the left of Spock Station, which is a side we rarely, if ever, get to see. A couple of overhead shots, and for some reason, some shot of Shatner's ass as he walks out of his cabin door, which makes
baby.
Like, where did guys raise the camera up? It was just an odd shot.
Yeah, well, we'll get
a shot
there.
like this. I like that. I like that. It's up and then shooting down.
And this is kind of reminiscent of The Cage, where they came down through the dome, right, and then
Bubble, yeah,
zoomed through the ceiling. And this is where he screams, "Stand by to photograph." It's like, oh, we can hear you. Shh.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm literally 8 feet away from you.
And then we have Bailey. Wonder if he's related to. Is it Bailey from? What's that Christmas movie?
George Bailey.
George, is he related to George Bailey? Like
well, Spock.
Spock. It's 3 days of this now. 3 days, sir.
Well,
come on.
I want to explore. I want to go see things.
We've been taking pictures of space for 3 days.
Now, once again, I have to question Starfleet's psych evaluations. Because as soon as the shit hits the fan, Bailey implodes like completely. Completely. Yeah. So anyway, we'll get to that, I suppose.
So they read the sensors, and there's something coming towards them, and they can't figure out what it is. It's coming at light speed on a collision course, but it takes a while to get there. I thought light speed was pretty quick.
It depends on how far away you are. It's still, you know.
Mm. And then there it is, Rubik's Cube in space. And then we hear the first box in probably TV history that has a theme song. And
I
they
always
play
thought
that
music would be great on a game show. You know, you're trying to come up with your final answer. That would just drive you nuts.
and they just play the heck out of it. Over and over. And here it goes. It's going off to the right.
including for a really ridiculous reason when he turns on the screen in sick bay and the music just comes up again. I was like, wow,
It has a theme.
It really does. Yeah.
It has a theme. So then, he chastised. Now, this shot of Spock here, if that is not the Mego toy,
I thought the same.
I don't know what is.
I thought the same thing.
That's like where they sculpt. I mean, the shirt looks like
the way the shirt is sitting on his body. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then they're just trying to figure out what it is, and they're calling for red alert.
Okay, this I had a little problem with. Go back one slide. What is that cube? Maybe 100 feet away from the front of the saucer. They later say it's 1,500 kilometers, which would put it, what, 3 times 1,500? Would put it almost a mile away.
It's a big ship.
I guess. What are those windows? 300 feet high each? I mean, yeah.
And we got old Captain again. This is like, what is this, like 9 in a row? Where he's shirtless and sweaty.
Hey, you got to have a little something for the ladies watching the show.
And he's working on his boxes. And I noticed he's got like Starfleet socks or slippers or something that he's wearing.
They're like blue slippers, yeah. I guess you don't want to scuff up the foot boxes.
So McCoy sees the alarm going off and just ignores it. I thought that was pretty neat. I was like, oh, he's going to get yelled at. And there he does. He gets yelled at. He's like I wouldn't have been able to finish the exam. And then he walks out and he's like, if I had so many lights around, I thought this was funny. He's like, I just end up talking to myself.
And there's no one in the room.
Yeah. And he's just there talking to himself.
Yep. Okay. So did anyone else hear I'm Too Sexy playing in their head as shirtless and bootless Captain Kirk takes a stroll glistening through the corridors?
So he gets in the turbo lift and he's on his way up to the bridge, and Spock says, "No, it's stopped. We're checking it out." And he's like, "Okay, I'll go change first." There's a good idea. And then Bailey gets chastised because he still has the condition red on his board, and all the stations have reported back condition green. And then they grab the 23rd century pen.
And he's I don't know what he's doing there. Just signing the log, I guess.
Well, he expects the Kirk expects the report.
Oh, the report. So yes, he's doing a handwritten report.
I thought this was a funny line. He's like, Mr. Spock, just because I got excited doesn't mean I was afraid. It means I have a human thing called adrenaline, an adrenaline gland. And Spock's like, well, you ever thought of having it removed?
Well, Mr. Spock, every time the red light goes off, an angel gets its wings.
Oh, an angel just got his wings.
Oh, look at this. I'm giving out wings over here. Hit the red alert button.
So there's your...
There it is. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, there were some interesting camera angles and choices made in this episode.
And then we get an outside shot of the ship facing the cube. And now we're back to everybody wearing gold. It was a gold day again.
Gold day, yep.
Have you noticed in this episode, everybody looks very sweaty? Like, was it a hot day in Los Angeles that day and they didn't have any air conditioning on?
Yeah, she's got a little bit of a glow on her, doesn't she? I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, and there's a few shots where, you know, Spock, his face is kind of the same way. It's all shiny and oily looking.
This scene, who's on the bridge? There's literally an alien object right in front of you, about 12 feet in front of you the last time I checked. And every senior person is down here. And Uhura looks incredibly bored during all this.
It's heat exhaustion.
Yeah. I was like, as soon as that scene came on, I'm like, what is she reading her script, like, or checking her Facebook?
So how does this room align with the ship? Like, I know Picard's ready room was right off the bridge, and the conference room, I'm not sure where this is basically the conference room. Where would that be? See if I can bring up a schematic.
It's down in the main saucer someplace. I would say, I think deck 1 obviously is the bridge. Deck 2, I think, is science labs, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's probably somewhere between 3 and 5.
Let's see. Everything comes up new enterprises. But yeah, they're off in the conference room and nobody's driving the ship.
And notice this, how sexist. It's time for action, gentlemen.
Well, she's asleep. She can't hear it. So.
I think that was a subtle dig. Like,
yeah. Uhura, you just keep on napping and the dudes will take care of it. The dudes and Sulu.
Are we boring you, Lieutenant?
So he automatically goes, Bailey automatically goes, Frasier crew, get ready. And then Kirk is like, the counterman that order, and I didn't say, oh, but sir, did I ask you for an excuse? I mean, he was really getting on Bailey's case. And I guess that's because was there this is his first episode, right?
Who, Bailey? Yeah, we haven't seen Bailey since, or before, I should say.
So he's been promoted, and McCoy thinks he's been promoted too quickly. So now they're 125 meters.
It's about 400 feet.
And they're going to go to warp. So make a quick left turn.
That's almost as good as a maneuver as leisurely drifting to the left. Like
yeah.
The Falcon. I know a few moves. Okay.
And we have Sulu doing his warp count up, which he is known to do throughout the entire series.
That's his hailing frequencies open.
is it warp 3, and they're going to lock phasers and point blank range and closing, fire main phasers, and they blow it up.
And I think this is the first time we see the phasers fire.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so this is already, like you said, a very heavy effects episode. And then the TV screen burns out. And that's a pretty neat shot.
That's a great shot. It's there. There's slight motion, very slow. But yeah, I love the overhead shot of the Enterprise here.
And then there we have McCoy saying, he doesn't need textbooks to know that, he was promoted too quick, talking about Bailey, and wondering what the relationship was between them. Like, did he just need somebody quick, or did he know him from somewhere? We're flying around, and we get back from commercial, and McCoy's drinking.
It's Miller time. We blew up a cube. Yeah. Break out the blue stuff.
Real man of genius. Here's to you, Mr. Cube Blower Upper. Mr. Cube Blower Upper. You're the guy that was at Warp 3 and decided to fire phasers.
You're not going to let some mansy-pansy spinning cube get in your way.
So they get a 98% check on the emergency
response time or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Simulation attack.
Right, the attack. Yeah. And Kirk wants 100. And he's
knowing Kirk, I'm surprised he doesn't want 105, 110,
And then we have the yeoman come in, who I'm surprised she didn't put down the napkin down in his lap, and she turns the lights on and
go wash your hands.
Yeah, it's like mom is making you dinner.
Your hands were all over those buttons on your chair, and God knows who's been touching them. Go wash your hands.
And Kirk doesn't like it. He makes a comment after she tries to give him salad. What is dietary salad? Is that like kale?
Okay, so I think this is a subtle callback to the episode that we just saw when Dr. Helen Noel put that subconscious thought, you're hungry. Notice he's gained weight since that episode.
Yeah, but wasn't this...
And will do so for the next 40 to 45 years.
Yeah, I guess it worked out that way. But wasn't this like the third in production?
I know, it just happened to work out that way.
Yeah, sometimes there's
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, you're a lunatic. You're crazy. Where's your tinfoil hat?
It's at the dry cleaners.
And there he is eating his salad, complaining that he's got a female yeoman. Wouldn't it be a yo woman?
Yo person. Okay, and here we go into HR realm again. So the chief medical officer is now accusing the captain of not being able to control his basal instincts.
It'd be tough. She's got that hair that she puts on every day. And I think where did I see this line before? Where was this line before? I've known, I don't know if it was Kirk that said it or somebody else that says, I've already got a female to worry about. Her name's the Enterprise.
I might be Miri.
Right.
I think
right.
I think you're right. I think he definitely said it, but I might have been Miri.
Yeah, because they were talking about him and Miri getting together. And he's like, I already have a female to worry about. Her name's the Enterprise.
Do you happen to know the age of consent on this planet? It goes by planet. I checked. It goes by planet.
And then you hear Sulu come across and says, all hands to battle stations. This is not a test. And a much larger thing coming towards us. And then Kirk says, coming.
I guess he really enjoyed the salad.
He did. Needed dressing. So metallic cube, similar to the cube, much greater energy reading. And then this one is 5,000 meters away, which is how far?
Well, a meter is roughly 3 feet, so 5,000 feet, that'd be 15,000 feet. And
3 miles?
About 3 miles, yeah.
And it fills the screen. I was thinking of going in and redoing the effects on this and have the cube be a Borg cube, and then this being a Borg sphere.
I would like to see. Wouldn't it be great if he's like, wait a second, let me reduce the magnification, and you find out it's just a fly on the view screen. It's a compound eye. My bad. It's a bug. Hold on.
It's a space bug. And we have hailing. I think this is the first time she says. Is this the first time she says hailing frequencies open?
Might be.
Because I thought when I was like
episodes, it's a pretty standard line for anybody sitting in that spot. So she may have met, but maybe not exactly in this cadence. Maybe like frequency open or channel open. You would say channel open a lot too. Now, for some reason, Bailey now has an earpiece that he didn't have before.
Well, he's got to be able to hear what's going on, I guess, or look cool.
So the navigator, he was listening to the navigation beam, right? Does he say it's coming over our navigation beam?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Waze? Okay, so that he was listening to.
I'm listening to Google Maps.
Yeah. Warp 3 here. Warp 3 here. Recalculating.
Like Waze would be, warning, object on road ahead.
Okay. Red light, camera ahead.
So now the Fesarius, that's this round ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing speaking, I could have sworn that was Lurch.
Give that man a prize. That's exactly who it was.
Is that his name? Because
Ted Cassidy. Yep.
No, not according to.
Yeah, no. Ted Cassidy did the voice there. He also does a voice. He does at least one more voice in the series that I know of.
Let's see here. This book is out of order, so I can never find anything in it.
out of production order or air date order, or are we not starting that again?
Yeah, I'm not going in. I'm just saying I can't find anything. Unless the guy that did Balok's voice.
It's the guy who did Balok's voice was uncredited, and a lot of people thought it was an actor by the name of Vic Perrin, who also did a lot of voiceover, but it turned out to be somebody completely different.
Yeah, because I thought I saw something in the book here that when I was reading it, something about like Walter. Fred Steiner's score. Oh, okay. So yeah, Ted Cassidy, who did the voiceover for the puppet Balok. All right. So maybe I was reading. Oh, that's it. Vic Perrin.
Yeah, but it wasn't Vic Perrin. But
It wasn't.
no, it was another actor. And I left my notes at work, so I apologize.
Well, you had that earthquake today, so
That's true. I survived a trauma today.
they're
so.
probably buried under nothing.
Under the rubble. I mean that cup that fell over.
So then we have the I guess what you think is Balok saying, "He has demonstrated your intention is not peaceful. No further communication will be accepted." And then they launched, which I thought was cool, a recorder marker to
Yes.
warn everybody. And what do?
They treat it like a spinning cube.
They blow it up. Your recorder marker has been destroyed.
Ha ha.
Your ship must be destroyed. And I like that. It's like if you pray to deities, we will give you 10 Earth time periods
Yeah.
known as minutes. So I guess they got that from scanning the computers. And now they're going to try and warp away. But everything's dead. Engine systems, weapons. And then this thing comes across, which, okay, I got to admit, never seen this episode in its entirety. I've seen the end, so I knew who the kid was, because that's whenever you see a retrospective or whatever on Clint Howard, they always show him as this character, and you always get to see this puppet. And you know, for years I was like, this is so cheesy. But then they actually, I didn't realize they actually explain it. It was pretty good writing.
Yeah.
And then this is where Bailey goes crazy again.
Bailey's just having a rough day.
He is. And he was pretty good at, he plays a good character under duress, mental duress. And then he is like doing his Stella to McCoy. What did I want from us? Let's find out what they want.
He's keeping a countdown. I use that line every New Year's Eve, and nobody gets it.
Then he
Scold
snaps.
people.
Then he snaps, and this was like a change where he seems like he's worried about them dying, and then all of a sudden he just pops, and he's like, "Boy, what are you, wound up toy soldiers?"
Whoa. Don't you know when you're dying? Mr. Potter.
And then Potter comes on the screen. I will take your Enterprise.
I thought this was a cool shot.
Yeah.
Now that's basically what it looked like in the original.
Very similar, yeah.
That's pretty. It is a pretty decent effects shot. I don't know where those little ones are clinging on to, but
they're the center between the three smaller ones below. They're like above the three clusters.
I don't understand how, because that's what comes out of the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those little 3Bs.
It's a 4B, I think, actually, when it comes out. So,
see, like, there's like 3 behind the nacelle, but then they're blocked by the one that's down below the hull. I don't know. It's cool looking, though.
It's cool looking. And very alien.
Yeah.
Here's Scotty saying what we were all thinking.
Because he starts to giving us the countdown, right?
He says, if anybody's interested. And then that's what Scotty's like, yeah, I don't think we're interested. Now, wait, look between Kirk and Spock. What's going on with these two guys in the background? This one guy looks like he's crying. The other guy is like sneaking. I think that's Mr. Leslie, actually.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out, whispering sweet nothings into his ear. Somebody must have waved at Leslie. Hey, back up, back up. I'm on my mark. Yeah, he's not. Back up.
My eyes are here.
Yeah. Sulu's trying not to look in that direction. Great scene. We're starting to see fly off the handle McCoy. Mr. I told you so.
Yeah, and he's going to write him up too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty neat. When did Picard ever get written up? And then I thought this was cool because Spock mentions that, this is like a game of chess. And just like in chess, when you can't make any moves, it's checkmate and game over. And then he's getting chastised by McCoy. And then he says, now that's no bluff. Anytime anytime you can bluff me, Doctor, and then he stops. And then you see just like the idea.
Yeah.
The lights come on and he gets the idea of what he's going to do. And he tells Spock not chess, but poker.
Strip poker.
Where's Yeoman Rand?
Was that an order, sir? No. It's a game.
He just walks up to Uhura. It's like,
Wow, look at McCoy. He looks like he wants to bash his head in.
yeah, he's the angry doctor. That's the doctor that you don't want when you go for your colonoscopy.
Yeah. Well, get in here and get on the table. Oh,
Bend over.
great.
He'd be singing Moon River.
The Moon River.
And Kirk gives them the warning. And he says, there's things that we don't write down in our logs. And it's something called Corbomite. Now, is Corbomite an actual thing, or did he just make that up on his...
I think my luggage is made of it.
That's Samsonite.
Well, that was close.
It's a cheaper version.
Yeah, that's an off-world version.
Yeah.
No, Corbomite is not a real thing. He could have said Vegemite at that point, and I don't think anybody...
Yeah. And then brought his salad over.
Yeah. What's really nice is that nobody in the background going, what the hell is he talking about? Shut up!
Be quiet.
Yeah, because, if it was my workplace, somebody would have definitely done that by now. No, we don't.
Yeah. You got the guy, he's like, Earth ships have this thing that nobody knows about. It's called Corbomite.
Especially
one blast
Ensign
from
Ricky.
you.
Yeah.
The effects of your blast go back at you and destroy you. No.
Like a double dumbass on you.
No, there's no such thing. We don't have Corbomite.
What's he talking about? I didn't know. I never heard of this. Shut up.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Leslie. There we go.
And he tells him Death has a little meeting. And he's like, then go ahead, attack us now. And then the thing's like, oh, I'm going to trick you. I won't kill you until you show me your Corbomite. It's like, am I going to fall for that? No.
Okay, so it's a substance, right? Why don't you just run down and get his salad and be like, ha, here it is.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is.
They don't. So they're all ready to die, and Spock is like, yeah, I wish I known more about this Baylock. And there we have the countdown board again. What did we see the countdown board in?
When they went back in time.
Oh, right.
Naked time.
Yeah. And then Bailey comes back. He's like, yeah, can I die on the bridge? I don't want to die alone. So then they're waiting and the time passes. And it's a good thing, too, because, I mean, as you see here, Uhura just got her delivery of Del Griffith shower curtain earrings. Spock likes poker. The destruction of your vessel has been delayed. And Kirk is like, let him sweat. But it doesn't give him enough time.
Instead of us throughout this episode, let him sweat.
Yeah. So
Yes,
then
that's got like 4 little nodules on, or 5. There's one in the center, it looks like.
Yeah. Is that reminiscent of a Isn't there like a Space 1999 design that has something like that?
Yeah, very similar.
And,
I'll comment on it when we do our Space 99 rewatch.
Okay. And then the Fisarius takes off and leaves this little thing, no pun intended. And there's the ship facing the Enterprise, and they beam over, and I thought it was funny. He was like, hey, you better bend down before you materialize. It's low clearance. And it's cool that they brought Bailey along.
We come in peace. Yeah, my phaser is right out.
And that kind of does look like, what's his name? Ted
Cassidy.
Yeah. Does look like Lurch.
What's really nice is that Florence Nightingale cloak around the top, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's,
I only have money for a head. You're gonna have to cover it up from the neck down.
We have money. We can buy a head and a neck pillow.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking the Fisarius has got all this, you know, all this technology, but they kind of cheap out on the props here a little bit, you know. That, and when we get to Clint Howard, they clearly are technologically advanced, but dental, not so much.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was going to say. At least he had his dental work.
Yeah. Yeah. Every one of Clint Howard's teeth is in business for themselves over there.
And full of silver.
Yeah. Now, that lamp thing just cracks me up because if anything screams 1960s, it's just got that design color thing. Like that was probably like a lamp that was being sold at the time at Modell's.
I would love to have that. Looks like it's got 3 legs. It actually looks like what's that video game that's on the
Simon?
The phone where you jump.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. And for some reason, these aliens love their curtains. I have never seen a functioning spaceship with so much drapery and curtains in my life.
And satin pillows.
Satin pillows.
He says, I'm Captain Kirk, and this is McCoy and Bailey. And they introduce everybody, and still got his guns out. And then they're going to we're going to have a drink of Tranya. Nice little headwear. Nice little brooch. Got from the Golden Girls. And he's married, apparently.
Now, a little off topic, but has anyone ever seen the Comedy Central roast of William Shatner?
Long time ago.
Yeah, where Clint Howard did a video thing dressed as Baylock, and they overdubbed him again. It was hysterical. And I don't know if they did something to his ears or his ears just screwed up, but weird looking ears there.
I wonder if there's any language in this. See if we get whacked for this.
I hope you relish it as much as I.
Bill, it's been 40 years, but we were able to track down your co-star from that legendary episode, transmitting from the final frontier, your dear friend, Baylock.
Welcome aboard. I'm honored to be a part of your Earth Roast. William Shatner, I've grown quite a bit, and so has my thirst for Tranya. Unlike you, Bill, I admit I have a drinking problem. I have my dignity. I'm not ashamed of this. At least I don't try to cover it up with a Wookiee snatch. Hey, humor. I hope you relish this evening as much as I.
That's great.
I'd never seen that before.
You never saw that before?
No.
Oh.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna have to. It's probably on Paramount Plus, right? All the roasts.
Actually, yeah, or on Comedy Central.
Well, all the Comedy Central roasts are on. I think are on Paramount Plus.
A lot of them are, but some of them are still on Comedy Central for some
Oh.
reason. But yeah. So, anybody know what the Tranya is?
Looks like apple juice
Mm-hmm.
or
It's
apple
great.
cider.
It's great.
Orange juice.
It's orange juice.
Grapefruit juice.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what happens when grapefruit juice sits under studio lights for a while. And
How
to
can they
this
stand
day,
to drink that?
Clint Howard said he hated grapefruit juice as a kid to begin with. So how he didn't get an Emmy for getting through this, slugging it for as many takes as he did.
it's no, like you said, no dental in the Facerius.
First Federation, we wish to learn of your dentistry technology. A Tranya will screw up your teeth every time. And now Captain Kirk is regretting having a sip because he thinks he may have been roofied.
He takes 2 slugs and he's gonna have a little Baylock in him. So he's like, I guess, what are we talking about here? The rope,
The puppet.
The
the
puppet.
puppet is Mr. Hyde to his Jekyll. He wants to play Mr. Hyde with Bailey later on. And it was pretty cool the way they,
Stuff of nightmares.
ugh. So he's all by himself. And now he wants Bailey to hang out with him.
Yeah, talk about being put on the spot by your boss.
Yeah. And do we ever see him again?
No.
Bailey never returns.
No, probably eaten by the people of the First Federation.
Yes.
This is another one of these con situations where Bailey could have been like, you left me stranded with those little monsters.
Yeah, he's like, because Kirk is all up for it, and he's like, yeah, because I'll have a better employee when he gets back. Wink, wink.
Well, he's probably thinking, I got to get this guy off my ship before he snaps and blows this up.
Oh my God, the last time I saw teeth like that, Robert Shaw was stuck between them.
he's just like, "Thank you, thanks a lot, Captain. We're a lot alike. Let me show you my ship."
I think you might have been talking about hairlines, but
And they walk off into the sunset behind the curtains. And then that's it. End of episode.
an end of Bailey. Or
Yeah.
is it?
Dun dun dun.
There is a novel sequel to this episode, which picks up, I believe, sometime around the movie era, where the Enterprise returns to the First Federation, and we find out that the puppet Baylock, there is actually a race of beings that look like that, who are the sworn enemies of the First Federation, and who've been attacking them, and they reach out to the Federation for help.
So are they saying that it wasn't really a puppet?
No, it was a puppet, and there's even an exchange in there where Baylock basically says, I based it on the face of our worst enemies.
Oh, okay. And then every time you finished a chapter,
Every time you turn the page, it was so annoying. Yeah.
all right. Quick rundown. What out of 10? Where do you give this one, Deb?
I'd give it a solid 8. It's a good episode.
I think it's another one that has great writing, and the chess poker scene. I mean, that really tells you a lot about the way Kirk's mind works and how he can get out of a situation when he needs to. It's kind of like at the end of Khan, where he flips open the communicator and says, "Kirk to Spock, it's 2 hours. You ready?" He doesn't like to lose. He doesn't like to lose. What do you think, Marty? Out of 10, 1 to 10.
This for me is like an 8.5.
This
Yeah,
one is
I agree with it. The writing, the effects, the interaction between Kirk Spock and Kirk McCoy is spot on. The issues I have are minor. I think the one part that drags a little bit is when they're being towed and they're trying to break away from the tow. I thought that went on just a little too long.
Yeah,
But
that dragged.
That dragged a little bit. It almost felt like they were filling the episode. But other than that, strong performances all the way around. Even Bailey was good.
Yeah, I thought he was great. He seems like a character that, you would recall and then have as a permanent member of the bridge crew, because he was good.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess they kill off enough crew members that they need to go out and get a Russian to come in.
Well, you know what prompted that was a very famous story that Pravda, who for people of our generation may remember, was the official Soviet newspaper, ran an article making fun of Star Trek and silly Americans have a show with no Russians and we were the first in space. And Roddenberry got wind of it and immediately decided he was going to put a Russian in there. The hairstyle was inspired by the Beatles. So kind of a mixed match thing.
Yeah. And what do we have coming up next week? What's next week's episode? Like I said, my book goes in the wrong order, so I have no idea.
On Paramount, it's the Menagerie.
It's a two-parter. Do we do it as two separate parts or do we do it all as one?
I thought we already did it, didn't we?
We did the cage.
So, spoiler alert, this is an episode of Star Trek where they watch an episode of Star Trek.
Yeah, I could never understand how that happens.
Yeah, so it was a money-saving attempt. They stretched it out over 2 episodes, got to use the pilot that never really aired, and built a courtroom drama around it.
It was a show within a show.
Mm-hmm. And I even love the fact that they reference, they don't make log tapes this specific and with music.
For dramatic effect.
No, this is coming from Talos 4. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, these aren't our log tapes, but yeah, that's why they have the dramatic close-ups and things of that nature. But yeah, so you want to do it as the 2, because we really covered the cage,
Right.
so really the wraparound parts, it's probably less than a full episode.
Yeah, we could just talk about those and make it a quickie. I mean, even if we make it to Friday, because with the world ending on Monday.
Sorry, aftershock. There we go. You're leaning too much. You're doing ship hits. I'm trying to do earthquake.
Oh.
Yeah. Wait a second. Ow! We did that.
So yeah, we have the eclipse on Monday. Hopefully we survive, because I've been reading that the reason for the eclipse is because there is a superficial crack in the dome of flat Earth, and the aliens are turning off the sun so they can come and fix the crack in the dome. So hopefully that goes well.
Oh, I heard there was a mothership in the orbit. That was what was going on TikTok. I don't know if it was today or yes. I think it was yesterday that was going around. There's a mothership orbiting us, and that's why we're going to get a solar eclipse.
I will tell you, I'm not one to buy in immediately to conspiracies, but when I'm driving along and on the New York State parkways, it's saying, use mass transit, avoid travel on eclipse day. I was like, really? Why? Why do you not want us on the roads?
Yeah, why is
we've had eclipses here before.
Why is Oklahoma already called in the National Guard? I mean, it's
in case the sun doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Are we attacking the moon?
Well, not NASA is sending 2 rocket ships up that day also.
What for? What are they going to see?
I don't know. It's like, yeah, what are they going to see that they wouldn't see through a telescope? Or
it's not like you're going to hit the sun. I mean, everything's normal except for something is in front of another thing. That's it. That's the only difference to a normal day.
It's literally celestial peekaboo. I mean, it happens not all the well. It happens with enough predictability that we aren't going up. Oh God, what did happen? They're telling us years in advance when the next one is. So it's not like it's even a big surprise for everybody.
No, but there is a large group of people who treat this as a religious event, and whenever these things pop up, they travel wherever it's going to be, and that's usually what causes the gridlocks.
I had a friend confide in me that she was very worried, with the earthquake today and the eclipse, and she's like, I just don't know what's happening. And I'm like, it's just another sign that my reign is close at hand. So just relax. I said
Keep-
one more. I joked about the Mets victory. I said one more sign, and I'm a shoo-in.
That's it. Stay on my good side this weekend.
That's right. So maybe I'll shoot something up at the moon too. Now that I think about it, if NASA can do it, why can't I?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. That would be the Marty Space Administration, which I am not saying. I am not saying out loud.
No. Nope, not gonna do it.
So,
And I'm not gonna tell you where it's headquartered either. So, where mission control is. No.
yeah, I'll skip that.
Yeah.
You can figure out the anagram on your own.
I actually got a pair of the glasses for the eclipse. A friend of mine at work bought them. So what I might do is put my Geordie banana clip over the glasses.
Well, I'll be streaming. We're doing an end of world cookout at work on Monday, and I will be setting up a camera. I mean, it's probably going to be. They're saying it's going to be cloudy and rainy here, so whatever. Hopefully, it's not. And I'll be live streaming the eclipse on the channel. So if you're stuck inside, you can watch it here.
Well, we'll still be pulling people out of the rubble here, I would think, by Monday. So
yeah, probably. I mean, all those papers must have fallen off the.
Little dust on me from debris. Actually, it's good because I can bring the dog out to sniff through to see if it can find survivors. Especially if they have like Cheetos on them, she'll find them real quick.
Right. That's the thing about your dog. If you're holding Cheetos, you're the first one found.
You have to see me. I go into the kitchen at night and I open up the cabinet slowly and I open up the can of peanuts like this and I just put my hand in and she can hear the individual peanuts rustling and she'll be asleep on the couch and all of a sudden she comes running in. I'm like, oh, get a beagle, they said. It'll be fun. Yeah.
But she is a cute dog.
She is. She's spoiled, though. She's spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, did somebody give the dog jelly beans? I'm like,
I'm hoping mine jumped the fence because they just peed in the hallway again tonight. So
she got freaked. Like I told you, my son said she got freaked out right before he felt it. He's like, she got up and she was running around. I'm like, oh, she must have really been freaked out if she was running. So usually it's kind of a waddle more than a run, but
yeah, she is cute.
And she's healthy, thank God.
Little O'Shea.
Yeah, next one will be City. then I'm out of fields.
Well, have you had Ebbets?
Ebbet would be a good name for a dog.
And come here, Polo Grounds. Come here, Polo Grounds.
What did Connor say? He's like, what's the next one going to be? Jackie Robinson Rotunda? I'm like, no, it's too long. Too long.
So, all right. Thank you guys for joining in. Debbie, you have 2 write-ups now.
She has an unexcused absence and a tardy. So.
Yes. So.
Damn it. I'm going to get fired.
So what did you, how was your con?
Oh yeah. Forgot all about it. Sorry.
That good, huh?
Well, outside of meeting Hayden, it sucked because there was no organization whatsoever. It took forever to get registered. Almost did not make it to my photo op, or thought. My photo op was at 1:10. And then they came out and said, Hayden's been delayed for an hour. And, they were saying, if you want to go do something else, you can go do it. I'm not losing my spot in line. Are you kidding me?
Was he
But we
killing
didn't.
younglings?
I think he was signing autographs because they had him signing beforehand on a different part of the building, and then he was supposed to come over and do the photo ops. But I totally believe that they seriously overbooked him, because my photo hop, like I said, my photo was at 1:10. I didn't get it till 3:30.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
And he stayed for everybody.
He stayed for everybody. As a matter of fact, they had the panel that was supposed to start at 8:15. I'm not sure if they started on time, but I know I was supposed to have an autograph session with him at 4:30. But when I looked on the Comic-Con website, there was a guy said, my autograph session was at 3:30 and it's 8:00.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
Oof.
So they told the people that were waiting on autographs that they would have to wait until after the panel, and then Hayden would come back and sign autographs. I was like, that poor man. That poor guy. But he was the sweetheart when we finally got in to do our photograph. They got signs all around saying, no touchy-feely or anything like that. So I walk in first. My son is right behind me. I walk in first. Hayden just comes right over and he shakes my hand and he says, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I was just, of course, that just threw me off because I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, he touched my hand. He was very sweet, very adorable, very nice. That was the only good thing that happened.
I tell you, it's great to see the fans embrace him.
Yes, finally.
It really is. And, I think he just got so much bad press early on, but he is, from every account I've ever heard, is just a really kind, nice guy. And it's great to see him kind of in this resurgence.
Yeah, it's great. I love it for him.
Yeah, and your boss didn't get you passes for it?
No.
No? You ever think of just taking it upon yourself and saying, hey, I do this Star Wars show, and I mean, that's how I started way back. I just looked and I found it. It said press passes on the website one day, and I said, I ain't gonna get it. Let me just see what happens. And the next thing I know, 3 weeks later, it's like, okay, pick up your passes here. And now it's...
Yeah, I don't know if by the time we decided we were going to go, because I was kind of iffy on going anyways. But when they announced Hayden, I was like, oh, hell yeah, we're going.
Well, you just do it anyway.
I couldn't see anywhere where they had press passes, so that might have been early on. But I had said something several times in the chat about going, and he never made an offer about, well, let me see if I can get you a press pass,
Yeah, sometimes you got to beat people over the head before they,
But he's always saying, I can get you press passes, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, you've known that I was going to go to this, and yet you never made an offer. So
Yeah.
Well, you didn't ask. Yeah, I I know the type.
So here's what's coming up in the end of May 24, 25, and 26 in Oklahoma City. They just announced another guest. They just added Gates McFadden. So now we have 7. Well, is it 7 or is it 6 characters?
Well, you have 7 people, 6 characters. Well, you know what? No, I'll go 7 characters.
Yeah, Esri is her
different.
own.
That was different enough from Jadzia. Yeah.
Yeah.
is that close to you, John?
It's about 3 hours.
Ugh.
So, but you know what? It's a Saturday. You get up when the sun gets up. If we're still here, and just drive and stop along the way, get something to eat, and go in. And hopefully, I'm gonna do the you're my favorite captain. I'm doing that ploy. See if he remembers that. But
Take the
yeah,
picture. Take the picture with you on your phone. That way you could show him.
yeah.
Remember this guy?
You remember this guy? So, yeah, that's pretty neat. It's George. We have Gates. We have John Delancey, Denise Crosby. I'm not. Oh, it's Terry Farrell, Nicole DeBoer, and Todd Stashwick. I mean, that's a lineup right there.
That's a fun lineup.
And they keep adding. I mean, it's still over a month away, so we got plenty of time to add more folk. So,
And Debbie, I think you and I should do a deep dive podcast investigation into the phenomenon of unorganized conventions. It's unheard of.
Just like
I don't think I've ever attended one that was really run well. I always think of that phrase, I run a tight shipwreck when I go there, because you have all these people with volunteer vests or shirts on, and nobody has a clue as to what they're doing.
exactly. I mean, I'm. This is my first Comic-Con. Now, I've been to 2 Star Wars celebrations back in the day.
Mhm.
So I was comparing this to that, and talk about night and day, because the Star Wars celebrations were very organized, very well done. Yeah. I mean, for this one, we didn't get a map. There was a map on the app that they had on the phone that didn't match up. So it's like, where the hell am I going?
Sounds about right.
I'll tell you, I've been to 3 fan expos here in Dallas and 2 fan festivals. I mean, which are the same company, but they've been fantastic. This will be my first Galaxy Con, as I was denied down in Austin. So don't tell them I said that.
It was funny. I was thinking about a week ago, the Creation Con we went to in the Pennsylvania Hotel across from Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think that's where I know where I first saw Patrick Stewart on stage.
I think
that was a great one.
I know I went to one. I want to say it was probably 95. I went with Tom and Lisa. Last time she ever said, "Yeah, I'll go to one of those."
Was Lisa with us when we all piled in the Oldsmobile shuttlecraft?
I don't. Oh, my mom's silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a great ride, man.
I miss that van so much.
Yeah, that was a great ride. We all piled in. Tom was with us. I remember Tom was definitely with us. And I think Chris.
Yeah, I think Chris was there too.
Chris was with us. I think it was just the 4 of us, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, that one. And then we used to have one out here every year. It was huge. It was run over at one of the local universities. It was called Icon. And it ran for years and then just hit a brick wall. That was the end of it. We had a lot of fun. There it is.
Oh, my.
It's pretty neat, right?
Yeah. Beautiful 23rd century styling. I mean, come on. That was a fun ride.
Yes, and the higher end ones had a little ball underneath that when a giant came down and grabbed it, you can click and then
It kind of looks like a shuttlecraft.
That's what we used to joke. Yeah. So
I wanted to put the pylons on the side and paint it red. You know, put the
picture 4 guys going down the highway, half of them dressed in Starfleet uniforms, going to a convention down the streets of Manhattan.
I guess there's there used to be a guy that turned his into. Oh, here it is. This one.
Oh, that would be a bitch to parallel park. Oh, I thought you were pulling up the real shuttlecraft.
That's pretty neat, right?
That's beautiful.
Let's see. But yeah, that's what I used to have, and then the dashboard was amazing. I mean, you know, if anything fell down, but by the windshield, you couldn't get it again.
It was gone.
It was good. You couldn't reach that far.
Yeah, and it was really frustrating because you'd get out and you'd look in the windshield and be like, "What can I do?"
Oh well, I like that.
Oh,
I like that pen.
Yeah.
But that's it. I love that truck. I wish I could get another one, but they're kind of expensive now for a 92. But all right, guys, thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate all the minutes you give us, and I don't know if you saw the video this week about you watch the first episode of Federation Friday and you start to sweat and get hives, and then it's all downhill from there until the 4th or 5th episode, and then you kind of like, I ain't got better to do. So hopefully we'll hit 50 views this week.
Marketing 101.
That's it. Tell them how much you suck.
Yeah.
Go for the sympathy watch.
Might be the most truthful podcast out in the podverse right
That's
now.
it. I told
we have fun.
I told Jeff on Wednesday. I was like, we ended the podcast on Wednesday, and it was a little. Let's see, where did I put it? It was basically a plea. Dear viewers, this is John from the Geek and I podcast. We know you don't watch us live. We know you don't watch us when we scroll past your feed. But if you could just find the time to click on us before you go to bed, turn the volume down, and flip your phone over, we'd really appreciate it. Until then, we will see you next time for Federation Friday, right here on the Geek and I podcast channel. We'll help you fall asleep.
Search for keyword insomniac.
Hey, I'm gonna put hashtag insomniac on the. That's going right in the descriptions. Hashtag insomniac.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, guys. We will see you next time. Next week is the menagerie. The donut section of the menagerie. We're gonna cut out the actual center and just talk about the donut.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It likes the donut. It puts the donut in the box.
Yep.
We'll see you
Prepare
next
for a
time.
lot of 2 beep yes, 1 beep no's.
Incorrect.
I gotta tell you, when I first saw that, I actually thought he was just cursing a lot.
It's like R2D2.
Like R2D2. Yeah. Yo, dude, language.
Beep. Oh, it's a good thing he didn't see Bailey this week. All right, we're out of here. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Yeah,